The last few months have been really challenging for me. And I experience times when...
The last few months have been step one catalysts for me.
Yes, definitely. And in between that step one, it's like I let myself move into the vortex, but seems to be a part of me that's really resistant.
It's just habits of thought. In other words, you're not doing it on purpose. You're just doing it because it's easy to think the resistant thoughts because they're better practiced. In other words, the easiest thought to think is the one you've practiced the most, because it's the one that's the most vibrationally active. So it's the one that you have most access to, you see.
But there's been a part of me that when you were talking about negative emotions coming up, that there's the trigger. And I feel as if I've been triggered into very old emotional thoughts and feelings.
Maybe so, but it doesn't matter where they come from. The good news is that when they come up, now you can do something about them. In other words, every time one comes up, do a focus wheel and leave it in a new place. And pretty soon, they'll all be in a different place.
Okay,
you can literally rework your past in your now.
Okay, so when this feeling comes up, because it's been triggered by current things. A year ago, I left my husband, and in the last few months, I had gotten very close with someone, and then that completely ended. But what I'm now experiencing is a lot of old feelings. So when I focus wheel, do I do it on what's happening now? Or
well, it depends on, we would do it with on the subject that is the most active in the moment of the emotion that we've decided to do a focus wheel. In other words, in the moment, something just happened, and to do a focus wheel about something that's not active is less dynamic. So when something happens, in other words, what triggers it now? For example, we could say to you, and it would be of no value, it'd be like hearing blah, 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 blah. But so here's the picture. So there was stuff going on in the marriage that constantly took you out of the vortex, and you wanted to feel good, and it didn't feel like you could feel good while you were in, so you went someplace else, but you took yourself with you. And by taking yourself with you, you took the patterns of thought which you hadn't cleaned up. And so you had strong desire, and so you attracted another relationship. But since you took yourself with you, all of that mess was still in your vibration. So the next relationship ended pretty much like the first one did, in that there was not compatibility. And so here you are again. And so there's just always going to be, everything that comes to you is an indication of the vibration that you got going on. So it doesn't matter at some point you just say, enough already, enough of this, me not in control of my vibrational patterns. I'm having emotional responses to my vibrations, but I'm not doing anything about controlling my vibrations. Your emotions are your response to your vibrational mix, but you can think thoughts deliberately and control your vibrational mix, and therefore control your emotions, and therefore control being in the vortex, and then therefore control your outcome. So something comes up, a trigger, like what?
Okay, I just want to clarify.
Like what? Like a trigger, like what?
A trigger. That this relationship where it had felt completely in the vortex,
But how long ago did that happen?
It ended 2 months ago.
All right, so 2 months ago, it ended a long time ago. So the emotion that you're having now, you see, we're going to make a strong statement, then we're going to work our way back to this. But okay. So it feels to you that you miss that relationship, and we want to submit to you, you're not missing that relationship. You're missing the hope you had about that relationship. In other words, you're missing the part of you that's in vibrational escrow. You're missing your connection with you, not the relationship. So the trigger so when you have an emotional response today, what's the trigger? What kind of thing is the trigger?
Not being in the vortex.
But that keeps you, the trigger that we're looking for is keeping you from being in the vortex. But what's the trigger? What thought? You see a couple happy together. You see, you pick up a lamp that you bought together. What's the trigger?
Mainly thoughts about what it had been like.
So
I'm thinking I think, wow, it was so great. It was so
But you
beautiful.
see, here's the thing. This is something not valid that you're about to say. When you think a thought about how beautiful it was, that thought would take you in the vortex. But simultaneously, when you think a thought about how beautiful it was, and then immediately you go to, I don't have it anymore. Then that's the out of the vortex thought. And that's the point when you want to do a focus wheel. So the trigger was, I had something wonderful, and for whatever reason I lost it, and then it goes further fast, and I don't know if I can bring it back, and I don't know if I can find another, and am I destined to a life of this? And it seems like I've already got a pattern going, and on it goes really, really fast.
Exactly.
So let's stop somewhere in there and do a focus wheel. So the thing that you know you don't want is, I don't want a series of bad relationships. That's not quite it. I don't want to be alone. That's not quite it. I don't want to live the absence of the good that we had found together. Is that it? Yeah. I don't want to live the absence of the sweetness that I found in that relationship. That hit it right on. Yeah. So now, how does Source see it? What's in the center of this focus wheel? What's going on over here in the vortex that we want to replicate in this focus wheel? How does Source see this? I want to return to the blissful state of connection that relationship seemed to inspire. How's that? That's pretty much right on it. I want to return to the blissful state of being. I want to return to that blissful in the vortex feeling that relationship seemed to inspire. So you didn't say, I want that relationship back. So you didn't stir that up. I want to return. I want to find I want to find and consistently hold that in the vortex feeling of alignment that relationship seemed to inspire. Now, what we're noticing is each time we say that, you're in the vortex. In other words, we can feel the resonance within you. I want to return to the in the vortex feeling of well-being. But each time we say that relationship inspired, your energy takes a nosedive. So just thinking about what you had that you don't have jerks you out of the vortex. So we want to clean that up right in the beginning. I want to return to the blissful state of alignment that I know. I love the blissful state of alignment. So there it is. That's what you're reaching for. This is the opposite. This is what you're reaching for. Now make a statement that gets you on the wheel, something that you already believe about you and your alignment.
I know that my alignment's not dependent on another person.
That's a true statement, but it didn't get you on the wheel. It sort of threw you off in the bushes because it hit it too head on.
I feel like there's a reason.
Wait. Stay with the process.
Okay.
It's so easy to get distracted, and it's so easy to say what is, and it's so easy so then the work ends up not getting you anywhere. Don't lose track of where you're going. You've already identified what you don't want. You've identified what you do want. Now stick with it till you feel the resonance of something that gets you on the wheel. This is the work.
I can experience that blissful feeling in other ways.
Perfect. Now shore it up even more. I not only can, I do.
I do experience that.
I do experience it. I do. Now, didn't you feel something sort of break loose there? I can do that. I do that. I can experience that connection through many aspects of my life. Now, another statement. Now you could even go to that other one that threw you off in the bushes earlier. My connection is not dependent upon any other. That one sticks now. Now that other resistance is gone. My connection is not dependent upon any other. But oh, it's so sweet to be connected and bring another. And when I'm consistently in alignment, the other will come and stay. And I wouldn't want to hook up in a permanent way until I'm really sure of being in the vortex. I just got in a little bit of a rush. That must be what that rebound stuff is that they always talk about. I was in a little bit of a rush, and now I feel more patient. Now I'm more interested in this relationship, the relationship between me and me than any other. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to bring myself into alignment on a regular basis because I know how good it feels. And just tasting the sweetness of it now. And oh, it's so nice when someone is a catalyst that makes you really hook up, and I'm forever appreciative of that. That was the best part about that relationship. I didn't know I could feel so good. So now that I know I can feel so good, that relationship helped me set whole new standards. So now what's coming next has to rise to something even better. And from that, knowing what I don't want, I now know I want something that is long lasting. And I know that for something to be long lasting, I've got to be stable in it. And so isn't it lovely that I had that relationship that showed me my instability, so that I could shore up my instability and make it stable, so that the next one that comes will stay. This is fun. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
See how easy it is? It is. See how, isn't it really easy when you get your, now it didn't seem easy for a minute because you wanted to keep talking about where you were, but we were stubborn. Because we know that the only thing that matters is getting in the vortex, and we know you can do it if you will focus. You can focus yourself into the vortex. The best thing in the world is to have something go wrong, because there is an equal and equivalent right over there. And the best, easiest time for you to turn and face fully and embrace fully what's right is when you're looking at what's wrong. In other words, you're never more clear, you're never more able to do it than then. Can you hear that? Never do you want to be in the vortex more than when you're not in the vortex. Never do you want to be well more than when you're sick. Never do you want clarity more than when you're confused. Never do you want your lover more than when your lover isn't there. In other words, it's all part of this blessed contrast. It's just a matter of focusing yourself into the place of feeling good. So all day as we've been talking, have we been trying to get you to go into the vortex so that you can then affect the behavior of others? Never. Never. We never try to get you to go into the vortex so that you can affect the behavior of others. We want you to go into the vortex because you're supposed to feel good, and when you're in there, you do. And yeah, it will affect the behavior of others, but if it's your ulterior motive to affect others' behavior, and that's why you're going in the vortex, you'll never get in. It's so tricky. If I say, you're behaving badly, so I'm going to the vortex to clean up my vibration so that you'll be better. I'm going now. I'm going into the vortex. I'm going into the vortex now because I can't stand the way you've been behaving. I'm so tired of the way you've been behaving, and I'm going into the vortex because if I go into the vortex, then I'll be able to clean up my vibration enough that then your badness will not bother me anymore. So I'm going into the vortex as soon as I stop talking about you. I'm thinking about you. As soon as I erase you from my vibrational patterning by focusing upon something else. But you're so compelling because you're so bad, because you hurt me so deeply, and all my friends know it, and we all think you're bad, and you shouldn't have been. I didn't deserve it. I'm not going to think about you anymore, because when I think about you, I feel bad, and I don't like to feel bad, and it's your fault that I feel bad. If you hadn't been bad, I wouldn't feel bad. I wish you didn't exist. And I wish I didn't have to think about you. But you're so interesting. Because you were so bad. So sometimes it just has to kind of play itself out, and you finally just get bored.